Hello there, you beautiful soul, and welcome back to Tuesday Wellness Talks with Rebecca Munoz. Today, it's just me, and I actually wanted to bring you a very short segment where we will talk about not only the importance of personal well-being, but also being able to take responsibility of our own lives during these transitionary times, right? We are in a time where things are changing rapidly. And it is important that we continue to stay on the forefront of these changes because change is inevitable and transformation during these changes are a choice. And I actually want to start off by sharing a scripture with you, one of my favorite scriptures. And we are faith-based here in this channel, um, where I not only have faith-based talks with you with from my own personal experiences, or I share stories with other people that I have had the opportunity to live life with throughout my journey that, they are faith-based and also going through, their own spiritual transformations. And so it is a space for you to dig deep, to really dig deep on what it is that you believe to be true for yourself. And so really what this channel does is it brings you insight, it brings you tips, it brings you different perspectives, and ways of looking at what's going on around you, and also giving you the ability and the education that you need in order for you to implement these practices into your life daily so that you can transform your own mind, your own body, and your own spirit. So I'm going to start off with the scripture that says, "Do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, which is good, pleasing, and perfect." And you can find that scripture in Romans 12:2. So what does it mean when it says to not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind? So it is said that the brain stops developing about at the age of 35, and I am currently 35. And that statement, I will not accept that as my truth because I have learned through, my own personal experiences that learning is a never ending evolution, right? We constantly have the ability to learn. And, with these phones, with technology, we have the ability to have, universities at our fingertips because everything that we could ever know is in technology, right? So we can Google pretty much any information. We can download audio books. We can go to the store and buy books. We can listen to podcasts. We can pretty much take on or learn from the journey of somebody else that is already where we aspire to be, or somebody that's really living along the lines of really just how we see our life evolving, right? So there's always somebody that has paved a way. And why I like to go so much back to scripture is because these were biblical philosophies that have been around for generations upon generations, right? And the way that I look at these men in the Bible, I look at them as philosophers, as men that lived their life. They went out and they experienced, and they actually wrote about their experiences that they were having. And oftentimes these men were having transformative experiences where they were learning, they were applying what they were learning, they were writing about it and teaching, what they were learning. And through their mistakes, through their trials, through their obstacles, a lot of these men and women also realized that it really is about how we view the world through our own lens, right? Through the eyes that we see, as well as the minds that we think. So as we learn, and not everything that someone speaks, you have to accept that as your truth. So it's really important that as you are renewing your mind through what's going on in this world, that you are applying really what is just and what is true for you, right? That you can dissect that word. And these words right here that I read, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what's God's will is for your life, that is good, pleasing, and perfect. So when you are operating from your highest self, when you're listening to your intuition, and when you are operating based on what your heart, your soul, what your mind is telling you, you're able to take action and take initiative on things and situations that are going to be for the greater good of all. So you are seeing your obstacles, you are seeing your challenges, you are even seeing your wins as all ways to be able to shift your perspective. And even when things are going wrong around you, that you're able to really just reflect and almost self-correct in the moment, because you're allowing yourself to be moved by that spirit, right? You're allowing yourself to be God, to for God, whoever that may be to you, or whatever that may be to you, a higher source, um, the spirit that you connect to on a daily basis, to allow you to operate fully in your intuitive gifts, right? And so that you're able to do the things that feel good for you, where you're taking care of yourself, where you're seeing things from a higher perspective, where you are, changing your life little by little. There's also another famous quote which I love to use when I speak, is a quote by Wayne Dyer that says, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." And it's almost what this scripture is talking about, right? When you are really fully understanding, really paying attention to what's happening, you're able to really maneuver through these situations to do the very best, or make the very best decisions that are going to give you the highest outcome. you know and this comes with a lot of experience, and there is a difference between reading something and trying to understand it versus actually going through an experience and then going back to that word or that literature that you're reading, and it actually starts to really resonate, because you're able to apply what you just read to the situation that maybe you just went through, or an experience that someone else had. So it is really important to be able to have these conversations and to be able to have these interactions and these exchanges with people, to share stories, because that you can really come to a conclusion with a greater understanding. And so you can be going through all this chaos, right? Like we are in this world, because we just overcame quite a bit of chaotic circumstances and experiences this year, and we're still not really through the entire storm, right? Every single person is going through something today. But when you look at it from a higher perspective, when you look at your experience and your situation from a place of renewing, right? Every single day we have the capacity, and even without us knowing, because when we go to bed, this is the opportunity for our body to regenerate itself. And that's why getting good rest and good quality sleep is so important, because during the time that you're sleeping, your body is renewing itself naturally. It literally is, like our body is a well-oiled machine that renews itself when we rest. And so at night when we go to bed, and I oftentimes do energy clearings. So, and express gratitude for my days. So I look at my days as a way for me to reflect on what I could do better the next day. And so I'm grateful for all the experiences that I had throughout the day, and I cleanse myself from any negative energy. So an example could be, of I am grateful for this day, and I clear out any negative energy that had the opportunity to infiltrate my energetic space, right? Because not only is it our physical body that we live in, but we also are spiritual beings living a human experience, right? So we have an ethereal body, we have an energetic body, we have an emotional body. So it's not just important for us to protect this vessel that we currently live in, but it's also really important for us to be mindful of the spaces that we surround ourselves in, because when we stretch ourselves out like this is pretty much our energetic bubble that we're in, right? And so we have the opportunity to clear that space. And so whether you're praying, and asking God to cleanse out your spirit, to cleanse out your energetic field of any negative forces that could have come in that day, I encourage you to do that. Words, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So when you are speaking words of power, when you are speaking words of wisdom, and when you understand that your circumstances are here to allow you to learn something, to change, to transform, that gives you the ability to see things differently, and for you to be able to make different decisions that are going to, again, give you the greater outcome. So during the night, your body's regenerating itself. And in the morning, when you wake up, you have the opportunity to breathe in life and breathe out anything negative that might be wanting to come in that morning, right? So every single morning, you have the ability to start fresh, to start new, to create a different reality for yourself. And God has given us the power to do that as spiritual beings, because God is omnipotent, God is omnipresent, and God is a force that lives inside of you. So you have the ability to use that essence that God has given you, that gift that God has given you, to be able to renew your mind every single day. um, my love just sent me a book by Joe Dispenza that he's listening to this morning. And it reminded me also of another beautiful and vibrant soul that I absolutely love to listen to. And her name is Dr. Caroline Leaf. She is a faith-based scientist and researcher, and she does talks on different podcasts. She has amazing books that you can read. And one of the books that really resonated with me is Switch on Your Brain. And that taught me, just like Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, the heart and mind coherence, and how everything is really divinely connected, right? Our gut sends signals to our brain, and our brain functions with our heart. And so everything is working synergistically together, right? And so when you do switch on the ability to think clearly, right? When you're making cognizant decisions, when you're really conscious about the decisions that you're making, you're able to operate with that mind, body, soul essence, right? And your body has the ability to renew itself. So it really is a personal choice on how you live your life daily. Oftentimes people think that their lives are coincidences, or that they were just dealt bad cards. But when you change your perspective on what's happening, when you do not conform to what's happening in this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, you can do anything and everything that is pleasing to your creator. And therefore, you can start having a positive outcome on a consistent basis. Another spiritual teacher and guide that I absolutely love to listen to is Eckhart Tolle. He talks about the power of stillness and the power of now, the power of the moment, being in the moment, being consciousness, because again, source resides in you. So you are a part of the creator. And so the creator is giving you the ability to be in this very moment, to recognize that you, as you are at this very moment, you are enough, that you have the ability to shift your perspective and shift your life at any given moment, no matter what circumstance you might be in. So I'm going to leave you with the scripture one more time. Engrave it in your mind. use this as a tool for you to be able to shift your perspective every single day because you are the ultimate creator of your reality. So it says, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, which is good, pleasing, and perfect. I am sending you so much love and light today. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you soon. Blessings.